This broadcast of the ASEAN Basketball League may not be reused in any way, shape, or form without an express written consent of the ABL.
Open is Regulus. Back-to-back triples for Mono Vampire.
Only 7 remaining. He makes his move. Young forces it up and in! CC hasn't made a shot before that.
Pretty good so far here in the first half.
Lai, everyone for the Black Bears finding the bottom of the net. Leaky with a big steal. Leaky for 3. That goes in. What a play!
Down the center, McLean comes out to greet him. Cade Davis with the ball now slung over to Artino again. Davis will go downstairs, turns and fires. Number 20, that's Lipichev. We talked about him, and he draws that assignment with Delvin right away and scores with the left hand.
Lipichev with a great slip there. Set the back screen. Delvin to help. As soon as he saw him help, he went straight to the rim there for the nice lefty hook.
Quick looking downstairs, flashing across is Elliot. McLean dumped down there to him, pawed away. I think last touch by Singapore, so good defense on the inside by Artino to stay close.
Yeah, and a great high-low look there to McLean in the post, and a lot of physicality early, and that's how the referees have officiated the last few games between these two teams.
Bell running the offense. He sloughs off to the left-hand side. Going downstairs is Davis again. He gets the ball off the ball screen. Back outside to Bell again. Up pops Lipichev. Delivers the screen on Elliot. Bell turning, firing for 2. Yes. 4-0 in favor of KL to start it off here.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of the KL Dragons. They can score from a multitude of positions, whether it's Amir Bell, Cade Davis, Will Artino, Lipichev. So many offensive threats in the court.
Delvin downstairs to Alexander. Has a favorable matchup against Ting. Let's see if he takes advantage of it. Turns one way, gets the ball inside to Delvin put the ball on the floor, knocked away. It'll be Singapore ball on the baseline. And Alexander telling Delvin just go straight up with it. Don't put the ball on the floor.
Yeah, and that's a fun little matchup between Delvin and Simeon Lipichev, 2 of the best local bigs here in the ABL.
Off to McLean. McLean draws a crowd immediately, steps through. 3-second violation, so another turnover for Singapore. That's 2 early on here.
Yeah, and that's that explosiveness that McLean's lacked in the last couple of games, just because of that injury to his foot. Wasn't able to catch the ball and go straight up. It took him a couple steps to gather himself, and by that time, it's 3 seconds in the key.
So Artino running the point at the moment. Up pops Cade Davis, downstairs Lipichev. Kick back outside again. Quick catch and shoot for Davis. That's off the mark. McLean collaring the rebound. Up ahead to Elliot. Elliot gives it off to Queck. Queck looking for space. Off to McLean and McLean. McLean got the match up against Lipichev that he wanted and scored.
Awesome seal from Anthony McLean there. Deep in the post. Caught it. Turned right over his left hand and finished with the right hand on the jump hook there.
Back outside, Davis. Little bounce pass. Now Bell with the ball. Out to meet him is Elliot. Inside it goes on the floor. Alertly picked up by Artino. Artino with a space there. Yes, it buries it. McLean a little bit slow to come out and meet him.
Yeah, and that's the advantage of Will Artino. Inside, outside threat, coming a little one dribble pull up. That's a really tough shot for 6'11", 250-pound individual there.
Elliot slicing through again, gets a touch. Wide open look from the elbow, fires it in for 2, 6-4.
Yeah, that's Marcus Elliott's money spot there. One dribble pull up on balance. Beautiful stuff.
Bell around the screen. Still Bell gives it off to Artino. Artino, McLean going at it. Turns, fires, another block by McLean. And out of bounds it goes. Great job on the defensive end by McLean. Great defensive pressure by St. Paul to follow the ball when it gets kicked out.
Yeah, and there's the leader there in blocks, Anthony McCain, 3.5 a game, and great discipline to stay down on 2 pump fakes on Will Artino and make the block shot.
There's Jamie Perlman, the coach of KL. Pensive. There's the ball screen by Delvin Go. Back outside, looking for separation. He's a streaky shooter downstairs. Nice look. McLean finishes it off to tie it up. Great look there by Marcus Elliott.
Yeah, nice start from Anthony McLean. Very aggressive around the rim. Straight chin to rim finishes.
Bell, he's been quiet so far. Lepichev looking past to Artino. Artino on the little floater off the mark. Last touch by Artino. It'll be Singapore ball. Nice little catch there, Scotty. So back comes Alexander. Right-hand side, gives it off to Queck. Queck downstairs, lurking on that left-hand side. Let's see if they find him. Delvin Go will take that shot. He can hit from there. A little bit short that time. Bell corrals it. Back comes KL on the left-hand side. Skip pass down the center. Turning and firing. Nice job. Lepichev, his second bucket of the game again with that left hand, Scotty.
Yeah, you said it, Chuck. Very left-hand dominant. Always comes back to that left hand, but beautiful touch for someone his size. 6'9½".
So 8-6 Dragons. They led by as many as 4. Delvin Go. Queck, still Queck downstairs, loses it. On the floor is Delvin Go. A scrum for it. He's trying to protect it. No whistle at all. Takeaway there by KL. Bell streaming past Queck. Now he takes him to the left. Wide open look for Ting, who fires away from 3. Off the mark. Delvin Go with the rebound. Alexander now yo-yoing down the right-hand side. Trying to find a space and copying it up again. Not as strong with that left hand. Great anticipation there by Cade Davis. Bounce pass ahead to Ting. Ting scores.
What a look from Cade Davis. Nutmeg the defender to get it to Ting for the layup. What a beautiful pass.
All started on the turnover. That's 3 turnovers so far for Singapore. Elliot, oh boy, knocked away, and that will be a backcourt violation. Another turnover. 4 turnovers so far for Singapore, and a timeout well called by MJ and Coach Neo. They're going to have to talk it over.
Yeah, just a little confusion on that ball screen there. Ball screen to pick and pop, the high-low action, and a little miscommunication from Delvin Go and Anthony McLean, and they're going to clean that up here.
Okay, not a timeout. So on the near side, or on the far side, excuse me, into the hands of Bell. Checking into the game now, Lao Shi-Fai, 31-year-old. Artino circling down again. Alexander following. Bounce pass over to Artino. Artino can't finish it. Singapore, nice anticipation there by number 44, Chin Cheng. So Singapore dodging the bullet and coming back in transition on their own, and has it pawed away at the last minute. So it'll be Singapore ball. 10-6, they trail with 5 to go here in the first quarter. Both these teams, Kelvin Lim, wide open, look for 2, rattles that one home.
What a nice presence he's been off the bench, hey, Chuck? Energy and enthusiasm. Yeah. Calvin Lim, not shy, catching and shooting the 15-footer. Nice little start for the local.
Bell converts from 3, so 13-8, 5-point lead for KL. Alexander, Go. Nice matchup for him with Bell. Artino looking left. He's cognizant of McLean there. Great pass over the top by Go. McLean finishes it off. Good recognition there by Delvin Go.
Yeah, and Delvin Go was calling for that ball and asking for the space. Nice little lob over the top to Anthony McLean, and a great finish by the big man.
Artino, he can hit from there. 3 is no good. Gang rebounding. Alexander comes away with it. Goes with the left hand. Still Alexander gets bumped on the way in. Taking the contact and finishing.
No one better in transition in the lead than number 15, Xavier Alexander, the 2019 MVP, getting downhill to the rim.
Artino giving it off to Bell. Circling up on top is Chin Cheng. Alexander on him. No look pass over the left shoulder. No good. Cade Davis asking for the cut. No. So a little bit of rare miscommunication there between Cade Davis and Will Artino. So that will prompt a timeout on the other side by KL, and KL with a 1-point lead. And Scotty, not much to tell between these two teams. You can see they anticipate very well each other. After all, this is the third time they've seen each other in 9 days.
You said it, Chuck. Everyone knows the sets. Everyone knows the game plan. Right now, it's what team is going to execute their philosophy better. What a fun matchup on either side we have, Chuck. One of the ones I'm loving seeing right now is Cade Davis against Xavier Alexander. Friends from Oklahoma. You have Xavier Alexander from Forest Park. You have Cade Davis from Elk City. Knew each other growing up, played in the AAU circuit. Cade Davis's wife actually went to school with Xavier Alexander. It's pretty fun to see these two competing against each other.
That could have been a foul called actually against Davis, but the referee swallowing his PB, so to speak. And so there we go. Now, none of these teams really are known for lighting it up in the ABL. Singapore, in fact, number 9 in scoring, and KL number 7 in scoring. So, don't be surprised if this game ends up in the 70s and 80s, and that's where the majority of their games do end up, at least from the offensive end. So Singapore trying to get something done in the open court a couple of times this year, and very good reactions by the KL Dragons. If you've just joined us, by the way, we want to mention that the 2 games played before this determined the Straits Cup. KL came into OCBC Arena and walked out with an 11-point win. Singapore returning the favor in KL, getting that last gasp win by 1 point over KL. The tip-in by Anthony McLean off the miss of the free throw by Xavier Alexander, but KL, 10 points clear of that, brings back the Straits trophy. Delvin Go, still Go, trying to turn the corner, fires, yes, and one.
And again, Singapore going to that matchup, throwing it to Delvin Go in the post with Tingham. A great job using that little hesitation dribble to back himself down in the post, create the contact, and hit the fall away, going away from the rim. Fantastic start here for Delvin Go.
Contact coming on the off arm, on the elbow, not affecting Delvin Go's shot, able to keep his poise.
And you can see as soon as Simeon Lepichev goes out of the game, Singapore's go straight to that mismatch and Delvin Go in the post.
Missing a free throw, Singapore a little bit below par the last game or two in that department. Over again to Bell. As Artino goes downstairs, he's behind McLean now. He traverses the baseline, back over to Chin, back outside. Bell gets it inside. Artino, the quick look, can't get it to go. McLean with the rebound. Back comes Alexander down the right-hand side. He's got Lim ahead of him. Lim can't control it, saves it, gets it off to Elliot. Elliot will bring it back outside. The bounce pass, Lim there. Passes up the shot on the reverse. He's fouled by Artino. He'll go the line for a pair.
You have to love the aggressiveness of Calvin Lim. Not only does he save the basketball in the transition, he runs right back to the corner, calls for a nice little like on Cade Davis, and then attacks Will Artino at the rim.
That's right.
What can you say about this young local and the energy that he's brought coming into the game as a 6th-man substitution this year?
Well, you see they gave Calvin Lim that shot, and he goes, no, I think I've got a better idea.
Very well said, Chuck. Puts the pressure on the defense. Last possession, Singapore slipped into that malleable 2-3 zone again that gave the KL Dragons so much trouble in the 4th quarter there, and it's been very fun to watch the strategic adjustments of the Singapore coaching staff playing around with different defenses and giving their opposition different looks this year.
So gets them both. Singapore, their biggest lead of the game. Now they lead by 3.
As we say that into the trap, right into the 2-3 zone.
Chin has to kick it back out. Good rotation by KL. Back out again to Lepichev, who's checked back into the game, bumping and grinding downstairs with Delvin Go. 1 step behind was Calvin Lim on that exchange, and filling it up was Lo Shi-Fai, his first bucket of the game, 6'3", 195-pounder.
Yeah, he had a really nice game against Singapore last time. Great shooter, very good off the dribble as well.
Downstairs to McLean, who turns. He is surrounded on the reverse. McLean finishes.
Agile move from the big man to go to the reverse there. Stepping through, light on his feet, high finish. Very fundamentally sound from Anthony McLean.
Bell yet to get off yet. Turning is Ting. Nice first step by him. Back outside to number 20. That is Lowe. Errant shot there that time. Picking it up is Delvin Go off to Marcus Elliott. Now down that right-hand side is where they'll set up camp. Wide open look there. Delvin passes it up. Little spin move inside. Great control in the air, but can't finish it. Nice job to come up with it is Chin Cheng. Very quickly about to Bell. Bell going downhill off the foot of Singapore, I think. And it will be KL ball. So Bell finally setting the pace.
And he's a scary proposition there, getting downhill in the full court. It's really fun to see his explosion and change of pace getting back to that right hand last game.
The Princeton grad. Lepachev giving it off to Bell and supplying the screen. There's a spin move. Alexander unaware that he had interfered with that ball there. Double team. Cade stepping through as you're supposed to do. Bell, the runner on the float, is no good. Now Alexander, so little cold spell for the Dragons. Downstairs it goes to Lim. Lim stranded on the baseline, uses his body, pushes off the glass, up and in. 6 points for Kelvin Lim.
It's Kelvin Lim beating his defender down the court again, straight to the rim. No passiveness. What a move. 6 points. Kelvin Lim, like you said, Chuck.
Bell, step through jumper. Wide open look is going to be off the mark. Wow, lid on the basket for KL. So under a minute to go. Elliot almost has it stripped away and does at the end, but last touch by the quick-handed Chin Cheng. So Elliot will check it in on the near side.
And Singapore again changing that defense, and they go to that 2-3 zone to allow Anthony McLean to sit on that rim and not have to come out and guard the ball screen. And nice little well-deserved break for Anthony McLean. It was 8 points here in the first quarter.
Well, smart move by Singapore. They don't want him picking up a foul. They'll give him a blow whenever they can. Remember, he is nursing that injury, so under a minute to go. Queck back into the game. Alexander looking downstairs where he's got Lim. Around one ball screen. Alexander, left hand, trying to force his way through, and he's fouled by Bell.
Great move by Xavier Alexander. He sees the hands of Ting and right away shows the ball and goes right through them to the rim, drawing that foul. Very intelligent basketball play from the 2019 ABL MVP.
In fact, they do not give that foul to Bell. They give it to Ting. See where Bell does not have any fouls affixed next to his name.
Yeah, and you can see both coaches realize that there's been a lot of basketball in these last 9 days, and they're going to their bench early and often here in the first quarter, with now only 2 imports on the court, Amir Bell and Marcus Elliott for Singapore.
Checking it in, Larry Liu now. He was a mainstay with Singapore last couple of years. Coming back like Ung Bin Han, and there's a turnover. Don't know if somebody, if Delvin, that's a foul there on Marcus Elliott.
And Loshi Fai did a really good job at drawing that from Marcus Elliott. He created a lot of physicality. As soon as Marcus Elliott gave him a little shove to get him off, referee called it. So a really good job by Loshi Fai to engage that call.
So let's see if KL can work something off the turnover. Stepping up with the ball now is Low again. He's been running the offense the last couple of minutes. Oh, nice job by Lepachev dumping it in. He's got it going with that left hand, just buries that right shoulder into the chest of Delvin Go, getting the separation.
Delvin Go has to sit on that left hand. Every single move has been a misdirection to the right and coming back left for Simeon Lepachev.
Elliott with 7 seconds left in the key. Gets a little bit of separation. That's all he needs, but he can't finish it off. Lepachev, 1 second to go, and that will do it. The end of the first quarter, and it was a good one. Or do we have a foul? Wait a minute. We have a blocking foul against Singapore. Let's see if that will result in a shooting foul or not. I guess not. So, interesting first quarter, Scotty. 2017 in the favor of Singapore. They lead by 3 at the OCBC Arena. We'll be right back for second quarter action right after this. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Anthony McLean, him and Kelvin Lim, the offensive bright spots for Singapore in that first quarter. Singapore leads by 20-17. Chuck Schreiner along with Scotty McKinnon. So happy you spend part of your Sunday afternoon with here at the OCBC Arena. A battle of rivals, the third chapter in this season's book. One more to come, still in KL. That will be later on. Kelvin Lim, 6 points so far. Little bounce pass downstairs, Alexander. He cuts through. Big build up on that right-hand side. Alexander turning, squirming, turning around as Lim can't get it to go. McLean coming out of the crowd to finish.
Anthony McLean has an amazing start to this basketball game. His 10th point, just manhandling everyone in the rim there. Fantastic offensive rebound from Anthony McLean.
In the trees. Knocked away by Alexander. So reset with 13 left on the shot clock. KL with a record of 8-7. They are in 5th place. Singapore 7-8 in 7th place. Artino coming out. Bell around the screen. Alexander coming out to meet him. McLean and Artino. Little ball fake there, and he walked with it. Nice job by Anthony McLean.
He has come to play today, Chuck. Great discipline, staying down on that ball fake. He knows Artino's going to come back to that left hand and causes the travel because he walled up, didn't bite on the pump fake, and a really nice start to this game for the big man in the middle, Anthony McLean.
Yeah, and carrying that foot injury that we've talked about the last couple of weeks, it didn't seem to bother him then. Back comes Alexander. Alexander to McLean. Off to the right is Lim. He had the hot hand in the first quarter. Elliot around the screen. Up pops Lim. He's got the ball now with 9 on the shot clock. Still Lim. Dumps it underneath to McLean, and he is fouled. And that will go on number 21, Simeon Lepichev.
And it all came off of the Calvin Lim penetration. Nice little inside-out dribble, beats his man. All of a sudden, Artino has to help, and he just floats it up over top to Anthony McLean. You can tell the Slingers' strategy right now is everything inside. Whether it's going through the post through McLean or the last few possessions, Xavier Alexander with the mismatch against Cade Davis inside, everything has been at the rim and towards the rim for the Singapore Slingers.
And you can thank Kelvin Lim for that because he's the extra body that they can rotate downstairs on that dribble penetration, Scotty.
Very well said, Chuck. Anthony McLean now 5 of 5 from the field for 10 points and 3 rebounds. A nice start for the big man.
Off the mark there, but saved. What a job by Lim. Singapore with the ball again. Downstairs, but smelled out beautifully there by Lepichev. So that saved by Lim goes for naught. Back comes Bell. Singapore doing a good job of getting back downstairs, but third, fourth opportunity. Delvin Go doing a great job getting over the top of Artino that time. Elliot scoots it back outside to go. Again, here comes Alexander looking downstairs. He's got Elliot. Elliot with a little bit of separation. Fires away for 3. 25-17. Singapore, their biggest lead of the game by 8.
Marcus Elliott with 5 points now, but getting Cade Davis off him with that nice jab step and pulling up for 3.
Well, Cade Davis has been the invisible man so far. Remember, he lit up Singapore to the tune of 37 points last week at their place. Artino, he'll take that shot, and not this time. Lim waiting right there to knock it down. Back comes Delvin Go. Elliot running the point at the moment. There's the ball screen. Separation, and another 3.
Marcus Elliott again sells with the jab step, comes back to that left hand off the dribble. What a start. Singapore Slingers 24-17.
Yeah, that's only a 2 that they're going to give him. So quick timeout being called by KL, and everything firing on in synchronicity for the Singapore Slingers right there. And I tell you, when you've got that extra body, we talk about rotating in and out like Kelvin Lim, that really confuses the KL defense. They aren't set up to defend that.
Yeah, just the effort that he's had so far, Chuck. Winning the loose ball, 50-50 ball going out of bounds. Calvin Lim saves it. All of a sudden it turns into a Marcus Elliott 3-pointer. And what energy and enthusiasm Calvin Lim, number 22, the 5th-year pro for the Singapore Slingers, has brought today. Really nice to see him being rewarded with these minutes as well.
Well, you know, you look at that competition between Leon Queck and Calvin Lim and others rotating in and out of the game. I mean, you know, who's going to give me the quality minutes, because that will determine who's on the court. And right now, advantage Kelvin Lim.
Yeah. Singapore Slingers have, like you said, Chuck, Singapore Slingers have really made an executed effort to get that basketball inside today. And whether it's been through a guard in the post or a big in the post, everything has been towards the rim. And now that they've started inside, all of a sudden those outside shots are starting to open up for them. And the last 2 possessions, whether it was Marcus Elliott on a catch and jab step shot, the 3-pointer, or him coming off the ball screen off the dribble, now those long shots are starting to fall for them.
Yeah, you know, when you start to create spaces, actually the ball screens become more effective, and that's exactly what's happening because you've got more space in which to operate to throw those screens.
Great point.
And you've also got more spaces in the lanes to dribble, penetrate, and then kick back outside, and then Singapore knocking down those shots doesn't hurt at all. So right now, 10-point lead for Singapore. KL a little bit back on their heels, but you know, every timeout, Jamie Perlman has an answer. This is a game of adjustments. You can be sure that KL will make these adjustments.
Yeah, and Chuck, you made a really good point. One of the best shooters and scorers in the league, Kay Davis, has 0 points right now. He averages 20 on a game. And this guy's lightning a bottle, shooting 48 from 2 and 37 from 3. He's a very dangerous basketball player.
Bell with the soft hands around the free throw line. His first bucket of the game, so 8-point game. Alexander popping out is Go. There's Lim again. Crossing is Alexander again. Kay Davis on him. Kay Davis probably has the most difficult defensive job on the court. Backup jumper for Alexander.
Yeah, Xavier used that size that you were talking about. Leaned that left shoulder in, created the space. Nice little fadeaway right over the top of Kay Davis, who actually played quite good defense.
He did. And you want to know a reason. Whoop, there's a reach in there, I believe, by Elliot. So he draws the contact. Yeah, incidental foul.
That's the second on Marcus Elliott there. So that's problematic with 6:59 here in the second quarter.
Yeah. You know, you search for answers. I mean, how lethal was Kay Davis in midweek against the Singapore Slingers, lighting it up for 37 points. And, you know, why the big turnaround right now? Well, big answer is who he's having to cover on the offensive end or on the defensive end. Xavier Alexander. That takes a lot of oomph out of your offensive energy when you have to spend so much of your time and energy. Steal right there. Davis lets it loose ball right in the path of McLean. Back comes Singapore. Alexander will wait for McLean. McLean will scoot downstairs now. Pawed away, picked up by Lim. Nice job by him. Larry Liu in the game now as well. As Elliott has a seat with the 2 fouls. 6 on the shot clock. Spin move inside. Backup jumper trying to get off the glass. Can't get it. Lepachev with the rebound. Back comes Bell and company. Larry Liu trying to give defense on him, but Bell scampers past. Long 3 off the glass. Wow.
Yeah, and they're giving Lepachev that shot right now, and credit to him to step up and shoot it, right? Because right now Delvin goes sitting in the key off of him, and now he's going to have to respect that a little bit more.
So trying to take advantage of Elliott being out of the game. Larry Liu not a lot of minutes. And remember, he was not an active player. There was a push off there. That might be an offensive foul on Larry Liu, trying to get a little bit of separation. So turnover there will go right back in the hands of the KL Dragons. And just like that, opportunity now for them to claw back into sight. They trail by as many as 10.
Yeah, nice little game for Simeon Lepachev there. 4 of 5 right now, 9 points. And what a quality basketball player. Started at community college, played Division I, is now out here playing pro in the ABL.
Yeah. 6 minutes to go. Lepachev again. A little bit better ball movement now by KL. Kay Davis. Artino passes up that shot. Quet, bounce pass. Floater, good. So Will Artino not wasting any time. So the lead down to 5 points. Alexander Lim on that right-hand side. Liu looking in. Now Quet, bounce pass inside to McLean, trying to get it off to Liu. Liu to Lim, back outside again. They throw it away. Oh, almost. 4 on the shot clock. What do we have here? Boy, oh boy, you talk about a foul that was needed at that time for Singapore. Perlman holds his hands in his head, or his head in his hands. He can't believe it. They had Singapore pretty much dead to right there.
Yeah, and Coach Jamie Perlman's not happy with that. You can tell it's an undisciplined foul. They had him in trouble. No real consistency or movement on that offensive possession. The ball was dead in the water. Kelvin Lim going nowhere with it, and a reach and undisciplined basketball foul. It gets them the ball back with 14 seconds on the shot clock.
And quickly getting Elliott back in there as he comes in for Lim. Pushing around there. McLean applying the ball screen. He gets it back on the give and go. On the floor. Larry Liu trying to come up with it, but it's Bell that comes out with it. Cade, catch and shoot from three. Way over the top that time. The misfiring once again, Cade Davis.
Yeah, and Singapore was lucky there. Cade Davis is like lightning in a bottle. For him to get an open three like that, he only needs one to go down, and all of a sudden, it's a flood or waterfall. So for Singapore, they have to match up quicker and get a hand up in his space.
Well, they're going to have to hope that Elliot doesn't pick up that third foul. Boy, aggressive follow that time by number 44, Chin Chang. 1 and out, however. Bell again controlling the pace of the game. Turning, looking. Artino. McLean, oh, nice move by Lepichev with the, or check that by Cade Davis on the baseline.
Beautiful pace and composure to go underneath the rim there and take away the block shotting Anthony McLean and finishing on the other side.
So don't look now, but a 3-point lead now. Singapore had stretched it up to 10, so 7-0 run. Ball screen, Elliot trying to get some separation, fires up, going to be woefully short on that one. Bell with another rebound. Back comes KL. Left hand, trying to take it in and gives it up. Back comes Alexander. He's got Lepichev in front of him, tries to slam it home a little bit too far away from the basket for that to happen. Back comes Chin Chang. Pawed away again. Out of bounds, last touch by Larry Liu, so Bell will inbound it from the far side. So KL looking much better the last few possessions, Scotty.
Yeah, and they're such a tough team to guard because they can go and run so quickly, and they have so many offensive threats. 4 players who have played internationally and at high levels all over the world.
Post-up move by Cade Davis. Sees the mismatch in there. Racing high, back outside. Cade Davis wide open. The three, if it goes, it does not. Artino with the follow. A 1-point game now. KL almost all the way back. Singapore is going to have to call a timeout.
Yeah, and very unfortunate for Singapore. They worked so hard to get that 10-point lead, and all of a sudden, like you said, a 9-0 run put together by Simeon Lepichev and Will Artino, who now have 9 and 6 points respectively, as well as Amir Val, who now has 7, and has really pushed the pace in the transition the last couple minutes here.
Yeah, they've done everything from inside. This KL still not hitting their shots from the outside, but taking that extra pass, finding the open man, cutting towards the basket, and exactly right, Scotty. Lepichev and Artino, the 2. Cade Davis, remember, on the baseline, that little drop step reverse also scoring as well. So everything near the basket, mirror image of what Singapore did to get ahead. So KL replying with a like sort of offense to their own, as Coach Nyo going over the X's and O's with MJ looking on here on the Singapore bench.
He had a very timely timeout from the coaching staff there. Kill this momentum, stop this run that the KL Dragons have been on, because a 9-0 run here in the last 2 minutes has been very apparent in KL not only catching up, but gaining the momentum going forward here in the last 3:26 in the second quarter.
So remember, both these teams have played twice in the last 9 days. Just a review for you on Valentine's Day. That was 9 days ago. KL coming in here and running away with it, winning by 11. Singapore going back down to KL a little bit later, a few days later, escaping with a 1-point victory. Here we are right now and playing each other nearly to a standstill with 3:26 to go here at the beginning of the first half, or in the first half. Chuck Schreiner along with Scotty McKinnon. So happy you joined us here on Sunday afternoon here in the Lion City, Singapore at the OCBC Arena. ABL basketball at its best. The 8-7 KL Dragons going against the 7-8 Singapore Slingers. Nice screen there by McLean. Alexander puts it up. Tip, no good. Rebound by Artino. Back comes Bell and company. Chance to take the lead here. They haven't led in a while. Reaching in. Who will that be on? Looks like Lim.
Nice set coming out of that timeout. Ball screen action. Get Xavier Alexander going to the rim. He just couldn't convert. They got the shot they want. Unfortunately for Singapore, they're not falling right now.
So Larry Liu will go out. Delvin Goh will check back in. Singapore with its starting lineup in the ball game. Artino on the inbound. Bell back outside again. Artino. Ball screen there on that left-hand side. Cade Davis rolled to the basket and one.
Lightning in a bottle. This is the scary thing for Singapore. Not only can Cade Davis shoot it, but he can get to the rim and score in a multitude of ways. And here in the last couple minutes, he's had a take to the rim. All of a sudden, he has an and one finish, and he has the potential for 5, 6, almost 6 points going into the halftime here.
Yeah, and that's what the good players do. They're not single-dimensional. They're multi-dimensional. And Cade Davis, finding that he's not hitting his shots from the outside, finds other ways in which to do the job, cutting off the screens, supplying the screens. And there's the three-point play there. So 2-point lead now for the Dragons with under 3 minutes to go. A little frustration in the Singapore crowd right now. Quek with the ball, or check that, Delvin Go with the ball. Now Elliot looking for space. Does get it, fires it in. They'll tie it up at 31.
Really nice patience there by Marcus Elliott to look off the big Will Artino and stick that pull-up right in Wa's face.
There's Bell looking for his second bucket and gets it. Got the separation, and man, oh man, what acceleration. He can stop on a dime. He did it just then.
Yeah, Chuck, the Princeton grad, just that stop on a dime ability to create that separation, get someone moving as fast as they can and stop. It's so important to decelerate like that and get that jump shot.
Quek talking about jump shot, still trying to rediscover his. Nice little give to Go downstairs to Elliot, or to McLean. McLean, nice timing there. The block by Chin Cheng from behind on McLean.
That's a really nice play by Singapore. McLean has the opportunity to go up, but just brought that ball down on the dribble, and all of a sudden they had time. The KL Dragons had time to react and block that shot.
So Elliot on the baseline. See what sort of play they've got. Right to McLean. McLean puts the ball on the floor. Turns, tries to go glass, can't. Nice job of sealing by Lepichev. Back come KL, nursing that 2-point lead. Bell motioning for his players to come over with the ball screen. Working on Elliot. Ball knocked away again. Artino heading in one direction, had the wherewithal to pass it back outside. 4 on the shot clock. Davis trying to get some separation. Gets past Delvin. Go! Fires it up to the edge of midnight and scores. 4-point lead. What a job by Cade Davis.
Yeah, and Cade Davis had not scored in the first 16 minutes of this game. The last 4, he has 7 points.
Well, you can sort of see what was going to happen there. Little ball fake there by Marcus Elliott. His defender goes flying past him.
Yeah, great half for Marcus Elliott so far. 11 points, and has kept Singapore in the game here the last couple minutes.
Again, that's stopping, and the defender taking the bait, leaving Bell all alone. So 4-point lead again as we get it down under to a minute. McLean. Oh, wide open look. Why not? The 3, and he buries it.
Xavier Alexander continues to work on that three-pointer. They go under the ball screen. He steps back and drills it.
Well, that's a shot that opponents around the league have been giving him for 5 years. He has greatly improved the last couple of years. Kick back outside. Lepichev. Cade Davis for 3. Well short that time. So 24 seconds. Singapore can play for the final shot now. Alexander aware of that. He'll watch the troops stream by.
Nice little rally here from Singapore to have an opportunity to go into halftime in the lead.
Actually, there's 7 seconds differential. Delvin Go gets a step on Lepichev, up, knocked away, right into the path of Cade Davis. Cade Davis will take it to that left side. He's surrounded now. And a reach-in foul. I think that's going to be on Alexander. No, wait a minute. They're going to say it's going to be on Marcus Elliott. That will be 3 on him. Holding.
And that's a tragic turn of events for Singapore there. If they call a foul on Marcus Elliott, they did. The 3rd foul on Marcus Elliott on a trap with 6.2 seconds left here in the first half. Very unfortunate events for Singapore.
Yeah, so this probably means that Elliott will have to start the second half on the bench. Larry Liu to check in now. He's seen a few minutes. And that will put them in the penalty situation. And at the line will be Cade Davis, where he's come alive the last couple of minutes.
And that's the thing about being a shooter, which Cade Davis is you just need a couple of buckets to go through that rim, and all of a sudden it starts to get wider and wider and wider. And now Cade Davis with 8 points in these last 3 minutes.
Yeah, so opportunity for a 13-point turnaround in the last 5 or 6 minutes for the Dragons. That's exactly what happened. 6.2 to go. Checking into the game now. Number 27 will be Ting Chen Hong, the 23-year-old. In fact, Singapore will take that and call a timeout and try and draw it up. So what a comeback by the KL Dragons, Scott. You know, since they called that timeout, Jamie Perlman, when Singapore had extended that lead, you saw them come back with a different attitude. And they started attacking the rim just like Singapore did to get that 10-point lead. So turnabout being fair play, KL doing it magnificently at the tail end of the second quarter.
Yeah, and the tough thing was when Marcus Elliott picked up his 2nd foul, they had to put Leon Quek on Amir Bell, and Amir Bell has really used that pace and change of pace to get to that 15-foot open jump shot, and all of a sudden off of that, now people had to help, and there's the kickouts and all. long closeouts that Singapore was getting beat to the middle, and unfortunate turn of events there on a trap where I believe that Cade Davis was in trouble with 6 seconds left there in the half. To call a foul there, I just don't know about that, because that's a monumental foul in this game. Having Marcus Elliot pick up his third there, 6 seconds left in the second half, first half.
And also what hurts is Marcus Elliott would probably be the primary target from the perimeter with 6 seconds left. You probably want to get the ball in his hand for his ability to get separation. He doesn't need much, and he can release from anywhere. So now you're going to have to rethink it and maybe try and get Xavier Alexander on the dribble penetration.
And Elliott's had a really nice first half here with 11 points, very efficient in his shooting, has attacked, got to that pull-up on multiple occasions. So it's a very tough call there with 6 seconds left here in the first half.
Okay, anything can happen. Delvin Go to inbound it. Guarding the inbound.
Little problem with the clock here. They have 0 seconds. They're going to have to reset that to 6.2.
Yeah, looks like they started the clock when the referee gave the ball to Delvin Go. So challenging the inbound is number 44, Chin Cheng.
And look to see if Singapore does a little bit of Valparaiso action here, where they're going to throw it to the big and have Xavier Alexander throw it to the big McLean and have Xavier Alexander try and run off him and get that lead kick-ahead pass, because they're denying him pretty hard at the basketball right now.
They certainly are. Look at this. So McLean has to come out. Alexander, Artino runs well for a big man. And 0.5 to go and a foul.
They're going to call a kickball there, I think.
So team fouls, in case you're interested. Singapore with 6, only 2 for KL. Catch and shoot at the stroke of midnight is going to be off the mark by Kwek, and that will do it. So Singapore, after leading by 10, will trail by 3 going into the dressing room at the end of the first half. Scotty and I will be back with the first half highlights in our traditional halftime show. Discuss this game along with other things along the way in the ABL, so don't go away as we look at the Singapore Slingers and the KL Dragons. Head to the locker room at the end of the first half here at the OCBC Arena. Again, the Slingers trailing the Dragons by 39-36. So Scotty, sort of a tale of 2 games on when we saw what a magnificent start by number 6, or check that, number 22, Kelvin Lim, keeping Singapore in it. And it looked like everything going goal for the Slingers, attacking the basket. You know, not only Lim, but Alexander. Now you've got 3 guys, and Elliot, you got 3 guys that can attack the basket, creating space there for a long period of time that first half. But Perlman calling a timeout. And unfortunately, as you said, Elliot picking up a couple of fouls, and that sort of took away that option. So Singapore coming down to earth with a thud a little bit. 13-point turnaround as we look at the first half highlights. There is Lim. We talked about him. 2 of his 6 points. And that was early on. And here we go. Bodying up, and there's Lepichev with that left hand. Was successful with it 2 or 3 times. Able to fend off Delvin Go with that right shoulder. Here's rising and firing Marcus Elliott from, I think that was a long 2 that time. Cade Davis in his pocket. Alexander. Davis again following him, getting the little bump, creating the separation. Little line drive shot on the fadeaway to the basket. And here we go again. Cade Davis getting some separation underneath, getting the better of McLean on that little drop step. Delvin Go with the helping defense, just a little bit too slow to get over there, and Cade Davis making it happen a different way. So that will do it. Halftime stats, let's check that out right now. Rebounds going the way of Singapore, but just barely, 18-16. Assist 8-6, field goal percentage. Both teams shooting pretty well, right around 50%. 2 of 2 for Singapore, 2 of 10 for Kuala Lumpur. That hurt them early on. The block shots and steals about the same. Turnovers, Singapore with 8, so that is a factor, with KL only with 4. Second chance points, 2-2. Bench points, 8 and 2. That's a pleasant turnaround for the Slingers. And points from turnovers, 8-2 in the way of the KL Dragons. So those are your halftime stats. Scott, anything else really that steps out at you that you want to talk about?
Well, you said it, Chuck, with the 3-point shots. Now Kuala Lumpur only 2 of 10 from 3, and generally they shoot about 35 to 40% from the 3, so look for that to improve. And the Slingers have done a really good job of chasing them off the line so far and making them attack the rim.
Scott McKinnon, Chuck Schreiner, so happy you could join us here. Halftime show as usual. And Scotty, you know, as we said, and we said ad nauseum, this is a couple of teams that know each other very, very well. But a little bit of a twist to this game in the sense of both of them attacking the rim.
Yeah, and Singapore had a great first quarter there, went up 10 points. Malaysia makes the adjustment, has a big run in the second quarter to take a 3-point lead into half here. And a couple of things that's kind of stood out for me. Marcus Elliot having a fantastic game, 5 of 8 from the field. He has 11 points, and picking up that second foul really hurt them because all of a sudden he couldn't match up on Amir Bell. And as soon as Amir Bell got in the lane, there was kick-out opportunities as well as him being able to hit that step-back jump shot. And I believe that's when the Kale Dragons kind of went on that run there.
Anthony McLean sort of dominated in that first quarter, getting the best of Will Artino. Artino coming back, not really the offensive threat that he was when we saw him that first game where he totally dominated the inside. So McLean, you know, slowly but surely seeming to overcome that foot injury that was a little bit debilitating for him a few games ago.
Yeah, and he's been great today. Again, 5 of 8 from the field. He has 10 points. He has 3 rebounds, and he's held Artino to 3 of 10 from the field and only 6 points. And that's a tremendous job defensively done by the big man in the middle, Anthony McLean. He's really done a good job of staying disciplined and staying down on those multiple Artino up fakes.
Talk about Cade Davis and what he can do from the inside and the outside. He saw that his shot just wasn't clicking from him, still isn't clicking from the outside, so he changes his game. He can dribble, penetrate. He's very, very smart on that baseline, and that's where he's run off a few of his points too.
Yeah, he's such a fun basketball player to watch. He was 0 of 6 to start the game. Last 4 minutes of the half, he goes 3 of 3. Now he goes into the half with 9 points. Had not scored before that. The fun thing about about Cade Davis is generally with those traditional shooters that you get out of the States, is that's all they can do is shoot. Cade Davis can score in a multitude of ways, and that's what makes him such a special basketball player.
High basketball IQ as well. Can D up. He isn't the fastest guy on the court, but great anticipation. And you know, also we don't want to forget that he's the one that is drawn on Xavier Alexander. Tough matchup for him to try and, you know, be productive offensive when you're guarding the present MVP in the ABL.
Yeah, very well said. And again, Xavier, another really quality start. You've seen in the first quarter, he's really trying to facilitate to get his teammates involved in the game. He ended the first half with 7 points and 3 rebounds and 3 assists. Again, that consummate triple-double threat. Xavier Alexander always out here competing on offense and defense and leading the charge for the Singapore Slingers.
The battle of the local guys on the bench for the Singapore Slingers. Kelvin Lim doing a great job today. Leon Quick still not able to get off. You wonder if it's sort of getting in his head, Scotty.
Yeah, and the thing that's tough for Leon Quick is he only had 1 shot attempt, and that shot attempt came in the last 5 seconds of the half, or last 0.5 seconds of the half. So you'd love to see Leon Quick shoot it because he is such a tremendous shooter. 41% from the 3 this year. He is so important to Singapore's attack, and it's not going to create any space for Xavier Alexander unless he has that shooter and that attacker and Leon Quick on the wing.
Okay, so other guys that are making an impact, Delvin Go, what a great matchup between him and Lepechev. Lepechev using that left hand to great advantage and just digging that right shoulder into Delvin Go. Delvin Go is going to have to come up with an answer for that, I think, in the second half.
Yeah, and that's been a really fun matchup so far. 9 and 6 points for them both respectively, and what a cool matchup from the forward position, for the power forward position for locals between Seaman Lepechev and Delvin Go. 2 talented basketball players who, for years to come, will be in that conversation for the local MVP, I believe.
Okay, so we look at both these teams, not amongst the league leaders as far as offense, but defensively, number 1 and 2 respectively. Slingers being the number 1 team, the Dragons being the number 2 team. So all the time we're going to see, and even the coaches thinking along the same lines. So it's very, very tough to ascertain the difference between them. I saw even the matchups that they've got. They're very, very similar. The timeouts are very, very similar. The stuff that they come back in off the timeouts very, very similar as well. So it's really, really fun to watch these two teams, like watching a chess match.
Yeah, and you said it, Chuck. The coaching staffs on both sides here are among the league's best. You talk about from an Australian basketball perspective, you have 2 former NBL players in Michael Johnson and Jamie Perlman. Michael Johnson is a Hall of Famer in Australia. Jamie Perlman has not only coached in the professional leagues, but played there. And just to see that battle between them and Coach Neil, who's a former national team player for Singapore, you can see that basketball intellect and kind of their intelligence in that game planning that you said, that chess match. Someone makes an adjustment, the other team comes back and makes another adjustment. And it's really fun to see this kind of game being played out, strategic game being played out from the coaches.
Now looking forward, both these teams obviously have playoff aspirations. Right now they're very, very close in the standings. They have 1 more game to play against each other, but going forward, if things go right, and as far as all the teams get their full quota of games, the way it stands right now, KL will be number 5 seed, Singapore will be number 7 seed. That can change at the drop of the hat. In fact, we talk about parity all the time. You know, right now, the number 3 team, number 2 team in the league has 5 losses. Singapore with 3 losses, KL with 7 losses. You can see teams go up and down just like an escalator, you know, in the folding moments of this really strange season.
Yeah, and especially in the ABL, that home court advantage in the quarterfinal matters so much. And so you see that coveted fourth place position and up. You really want to play that first 3-game series at home, because at the worst you're going to get 2 games at home, and that matters so much in this league. The travel is tough. Changing arenas and getting to a new position is very difficult, so you really want to covet that 4th position, and these teams are both a game away from it right now.
Okay, 3-point lead now for the KL Dragons over the Singapore Slingers, and we'll get ready for the second half. Hey, hope you stick around for us. So right now, 3-point lead from here at the OCBC Arena here in Singapore. We'll talk to you in the second half. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Start of the second half here, 39-36 in favor of the KL Dragons over the Singapore Slingers. Lepachov to inbound it from the near side here. And there is Xavier Alexander, all smiles right now, but tell you what, Scotty, how many times the Singapore Slingers been involved in games that have been just so tight like this? I don't think they've had but 1 or 2 games where they've been able to relax at all.
Yeah, and that's the fun part about Singapore Slinger games, right? Always competitive. Anytime you come here, you know it's going to be a tight basketball. You know that the Singapore Slingers are going to compete to the best of their ability, and that's a really fun thing as a commentator and fan if you're in Singapore. Larry Liu getting the nod to start in the second half. Quick turnover, nice job sealing off the baseline by Marcus Elliott. Yeah, and you can see Marcus Elliott was very apparent there and showing the official his hands, and he does not want to pick up that 4th. You could see over-exaggerated, put his hands up. The last thing that he wanted to do was get called for a foul. A really good job by Marcus Elliott to make that apparent to the official very early that he's not looking for his 4th foul. Yeah, he's going to have to thread the needle, so to speak, the entire 3rd quarter. Delve and go back outside to Liu, who swings it to Elliott. Bounce pass inside to McLean. McLean bumping and grinding against Artino. Turns one way, then the other. Positioning underneath. Last touch by, they're going to say Singapore, so nice seal there by Will Artino. Yeah, and Coach Neo's calling for a little bit of contact on the wrist there, and from underneath the rim here, that's exactly what it looked like. A ton of contact on that left-handed or right-handed jump hook from Anthony McLean. Bell and Liu, Lepachev and go back outside. Artino now, left-hand dribble over to Bell. Nice ball movement and motion by KL, and the finish there by Artino. Yeah, and Chuck, you said it's not the pace in the transition that kills you from the Westport Dragons. It's the pace in the half court. The amount that ball gets whipped around east to west and then eventually goes north-south is truly special. Yeah, it's the motion. Alexander looking in, now goes to the left hand, gets a step that has it pawed away now. Cade trying to get in transition. Cade dumps it off. Artino spin move. Larry Liu on him. Had that gone, it would have counted. It did not. Foul on Liu. Artino will go to the line with 2. He got the mismatch he wanted. Yeah, and Artino did a really good job coming back that left hand over the top of Larry Liu, who gives up about 6 inches there to Will Artino, the 6'11" Creighton Blue Jay who can play inside outside and loves that left hand finish inside. Had a down half by his standards anyway. The first half, remember, on Valentine's Day, he came in here and scored 32 and had 15 rebounds. Held to, if you can call held to 16 points, but 17 boards in KL. 0 of 2, so Singapore dodging the bullet. Alexander to McLean. Elliott, up pops Liu. Liu, left-hand dribble over to the left side. Delvin Go looking downstairs now. Over to Alexander, spin move inside. Can't get it to go. Good defense there by number 27. That's Ting. Cade Davis all the way to the other side. Ting thrown away. So it'll be Singapore ball there. Nice job on the defensive end to seal off downstairs for Singapore. And again, great discipline from Anthony McLean. Puts his foot on the baseline, walls up, makes Ting go out wide, and all of a sudden he's out of bounds. So both these teams trying to pick off where they left off in the first half, Scotty, trying to get the ball inside. Yeah, and you can see right now Singapore made the adjustment of starting the veteran Larry Liu over top of Leon Kwek here in the second half.
Elliot thought about it. Now right hand looking for that separation. Liu wide open look for two. Yes, rattled it home.
Apparently great adjustment. Coach MJ and Coach Neal. Larry Liu steps into an uncontested three and nails it.
But he's a streaky shooter. 2 points they give him. Bell, nice job again, stopping on a dime. We've said that about 4 times, but it is true. It's an apt analogy. So back up to a 5-point lead.
Such a tough matchup for Singapore now with Marcus Elliot in foul trouble. 6 of 7 for Amir Bell, 13 points in this game. Tremendously efficient from the field.
Alexander gets sealed up. Back outside it goes to Elliot. Bell on him. Accelerating, and a foul will go on Bell. Tripping.
A really good job of Marcus Elliot getting to the rim there and causing that contact with his wide shoulders. As soon as he pinned Amir Bell there, he knew he had the direct line dribble to the rim, did a really good job of initiating that contact and drawing the foul.
Now if that is Bell, that'll be only his first. Still nothing on the scoreboard of an indication, but anyway, Elliot at the line, trying to get Singapore to within 3. It's been a battle. Both these teams, I mean, you know, they're not teams that fill it up, and every point is precious to both of these offenses.
Yeah, and you can see Singapore right now trying to figure out defensively who's going to guard Amir Bell. And they've tried Leon Kwek in the first half because of Marcus Elliott's foul trouble, and now they've gone to Larry Liu here in the early parts of the second half. So they're just trying to find someone who's long and can move their feet to keep themselves in front of Amir Bell and not allow him to get to that rim or that left-handed dribble pull-up.
2 of 2. So Elliot doing his job. Last week against KL, Singapore missed 5 free throws down the stretch. They don't want to repeat that. Much more aggressive now on the defensive end by Singapore. Off a 1-ball screen. Delvin Go downstairs. Twisting, turning. Nice job by McLean. Changing the shot of Artino. Quickly Elliot, still Elliot. Teardrop over the top, can't make it fall. Lepichev almost losing it. Ooh, boy, almost picked living dangerously that time. Bell, opposite side. Thought about it, inside again, wrap around pass. Artino right there.
What ball movement by the KL Dragons. Every long contest, they threw it to the next person who's open, and then a finish by Will Artino.
Ball quickly downstairs to Delvin Go, back outside now. Good recovery by KL on the defensive end. Go working against Lepichev again. Spin move. Nice little hang time by Delvin Go.
Yeah, it's a huge shot for Delvin Go. Averages 9 a game. He only has 4 right now. For him to get aggressive here offensively is huge.
Oh boy. Artino found something there. McLean caught in no man's land, but just that extra step cutting off the angle. And Delvin Go again downstairs on the reverse. McLean there to clean it up. Still in the key, he's gonna have to do something with it. Finally, Artino comes down with it.
So much physicality in the key there.
Well, Artino got the matchup that he wanted, or check that, no, that was Cade Davis getting the matchup that he wanted against a much smaller defender. Able to get it to fall.
And man, can he score in bunches. Now 11 points here, and he's had them in about 4 minutes.
Liu, Elliot, 3, yes!
Marcus Elliot, ladies and gentlemen, 6 for 9 right now, his 15th point of the game.
Said his foot was on the line, so only credit him with 2. Bell with Artino running to his side for the screen. Good recovery that time. Lepichev, long 2 is good.
Oh, and I think that's good defense by the Singapore Slingers, but Simeon Lepichev has proven them wrong. Steps up into hitting that corner 3-pointer.
Yeah, there was a 3, so 6-point lead. Biggest lead of the game for the Dragons. Alexander. Still Alexander. Almost loses it. In fact, a foul, reach-in foul by Bell. And if that's on him, that will be 2. Checking in the game will be Jun. What was that, Scotty?
Foul on Alexander there.
Alexander.
On a turnover. So
wow.
Alexander picks it up, and they're having a conversation right now about if that was a clear path or intentional foul. So all refs discussing, all 3 of them together, trying to come up with the right call here.
So if it is on Alexander, and it looks like it's going to be, will it be, the only question is it an intentional foul or not?
Hey, y'all need to look at all the replays on the foul there.
believe they're going to have a look at this in the replay right now and see if it was a clear path and if Xavier Alexander grabbed him.
Oh, there he is right there on the grab. Bell really being demonstrative, asking for the intentional foul. So 3-point lead at halftime for the Dragons. They've stretched it to 6 and maybe more depending on the outcome of this call right here. Alexander trying to plead his case, but at the end of the day, it's going to be the video camera that's going to be the judge and jury and possible executioner.
Yeah, very well said there, Chuck. So officials are having a quick look at it, but what a game Simeon Lepic have had so far for the KL Dragons. 12 points and very efficient on now 5 of 7 shooting. He's hit a couple 3-pointers as well, where I didn't know Lepic had that in his game. So for someone his size to be able to step away and be that kind of stretch 4 is very complicating for the Singapore Slingers and other teams in this ABL to match up with.
Yeah, that would mean that Delvin would have to go out to the perimeter on him, which he doesn't like to do. So still waiting for a decision is Xavier Alexander. Again on the foul, will it be an intentional foul or just a normal foul? There's Perlman over on the sideline sketching it out for his boys. They would love to get on a little bit of a run here and put some distance between them and the Slingers.
Yeah, and just looking it up right, Simeon Lepic right now is only 3 of 9 from the season for 3, so he's almost doubled his output in one game. And imagine if he continues to have that ability like he's had this game to step out and shoot the 3. It's going to be very difficult, like I said before, for many teams to match up here in the ABL with the KL Dragons and that flexibility that it provides them.
And there's the brain trust of the Singapore Slingers on their side. MJ with his eyes closed and perhaps trying to will it through here. Coach Neo also very pensive looking. Oh boy, unsportsmanlike foul. So if you're a Singapore Slingers fan, your worst fear is realized. 2 shots plus the ball for the KL Dragons.
Yeah, and Chuck, you said it, this is the biggest lead they've had all game, and for them to try and be able to get this separation to maybe 8 or 10 or 11 points depending on the next possession, that's a huge call.
Well, again, got to hit your free throws. Both these teams leaving something to be desired in that category. 1 of 2, so they'll get the ball.
Yeah, and Singapore Slingers with another adjustment here, subbing in Jun Lim, and I believe that he's probably going to try and match up on Amir Bell here, and they're just trying to figure out any way that they can keep Amir Bell and his 15 points on 6 of 7 shooting out of the key.
You know, he gets going downhill, very, very tough customer to stop, and then he talk about stopping, you know, he can stop. Not much space at all. There he is getting the separation. Long 3 is off the mark. Out of bounds it goes. It'll be Singapore ball. Last touch by Chin Cheng. So Singapore really, you know, after an intentional foul, you take that 9 times out of 10, Scotty. You give up only 1 point in that whole series.
And Jun Lim did a really good job of keeping Amir Bell in front of him there and making him shoot a contested 23-footer. So yeah. Singapore, hopefully, from what could have happened, it could have been double digits, only down 7 here after that intentional foul. Like you said, Chuck, that's the best case scenario for them.
Yeah, they'll take that. So what a game. Number 3 for the KL Dragons, number 5 for the KL Dragons, having Amir Bell coming in as advertised. Only 6'4", 195 pounds. We've said graduate from Princeton, had a marvelous career there. He's averaging almost 17 points a game for KL. But you know, we talked to Coach Perlman last week, and I was asking him the question, you know, you've got a lot of young talent on your team. Is this by design? He says, no, it fell in his lap. The oldest guy on the team is only 31 years old, and that would be Cade Davis. Everybody else, 23, 24, 27, like that. And, you know, it's a coach's dream, Scott. If you can get guys that young that will buy into your system, you can go on a run.
Yeah, scary perspective for the rest of the league here. I know the Westport Dragons are only 8-7 right now, but they've had a very tough schedule here so far here in the first half, leading into second half here of the ABL season. And you talk about Amir Bell, he was a defensive player in the Ivy League for Princeton. He was Defensive Player of the Year, and so to see him be such an offensive creator and make such good decisions with the basketball here in the ABL, it kind of says what kind of role he played in university and his ability to not only accept that role but excel in it. And to transfer that into the offensive threat he's become here in the ABL is really impressive as a basketball player and speaks to the work that he's had to have put in the last couple of years.
Oh yeah, I mean, you get a little bit older, you put a little bit more, you get a little bit more game experience, and you can, you know, outside your game a little bit, do some of the sort of things that you've always wanted to do but weren't able to because of circumstances. So Amir Bell, total package, at least today. McLean trying to step through, does, loses it in a crowd. Man, look at the black shirts coalescing around McLean.
Yeah, good move by Anthony McLean. Just 3 people, a lot of contact, tried to finish over top of them. Referee doesn't blow the whistle and it's going the opposite way.
The right side, there's the ball screen. Nice job from the opposite side by Bell. Jun on him. High up into the air. Artino tries to finish it on the alley-oop. Can't. Alexander now pushing it for Singapore. Getting inside the lane. Had that gone, it would have counted. He will go the line, try and earn it there. The foul will go on Chin Cheng, number 44.
Yeah, and again, Xavier's ability to cause contact and draw fouls when he gets downhill in that transition is so special. Shot 136 foul shots this year. That is amazing in 15 games so far. It's almost 10 foul shots a game just for him to get downhill, and as soon as he creates and initiates that contact, he's living at the line. And so it's a special skill set that not many people in this world have. Yeah,
and always seems to do that when the Slingers need the points the most, and that would count right now, hitting the first of 2. Separation now only 6 points. 3:47 to go here in the third quarter. This quarter has gone in fits and starts. We've had some stoppages. 2 of 2. So Singapore back to within an echo.
And Xavier with 9 points now. This is kind of the time of the game where he starts to look to get his own and stops facilitating a little bit.
Swinging around to the right side now is Tang. Tang looking downstairs. Catch and shoot. Number 27 lining it up. Ting Chung Hong. Wow. That's a 3.
Yeah, and Ting's a very good shooter. 41% from 3 this year.
Remember, the Dragons were 2 of 10 from beyond the arc the first half. Singapore 2 of 2. Alexander giving him that space. Faking the little spin move. The foul will go on Bell, I think.
Yeah, and Xavier again, he sees as soon as Amir Bell drops those hands, he doesn't show his hands to the official. Xavier goes right through them into the step back fadeaway and draws the foul, and he's going to get back to the foul line here.
That's 2 fouls now on Bell.
It's just the intelligence of Xavier Alexander right there. Former TPBL MVP and champion in 2019, as well as the ABL MVP here last year. 5th year with the Slingers, and just that ability to draw fouls is not many people in the world have it.
Yeah, well, in the off season, you make a good point, Scotty. To refine his game, Alexander plays in Thailand, or has.
Yep.
And says it's done wonders for his game. 11 points and 3 now. Always a threat to go triple-double. Tang swings it. Bell. Chin. Other side. Tang has a hot hand underneath. Blocked away by McLean. No foul as Lim goes crashing to the floor. Long 3 again. Rolls in and out. Rebound there by Elliot. Down that left side. Great screen by McLean, stepping through. Left hand layup, good. Nice job by McLean on the screen.
Great ball screen, and Marcus Elliott does a great job getting his shoulder square with the rim and finishing there with the left hand. Singapore falls back into this 2-3 zone now with Kay Davis out of the game.
Swings it to the right. Good ball movement. Looking downstairs for Artino. Ball out of bounds it goes. It'll remain in possession of KL. Last touch by Lim.
Singapore, a very good adjustment to go to this 2-3. What they do is they chase KL off the line and funnel everything into the big man in the middle, protecting the rim. And as you see right away, Perlman makes an adjustment, and here comes Kay Davis, their shooter, back into the game.
Yeah, and let's see if Singapore makes an adjustment to that. For the moment, they stay in the 2-3. Swing over to Bell. Bell lines it up for 3. Off the mark. McLean skies for that board. Back into the hands of Elliott. He's got the hot hand. Downstairs is Lim, or Delvin Go on that right side. Kick back outside. McLean with the ball screen. Eases up on that. Cross court. Jun fires up a long 3. He's going to be way off the mark. Bell corrals that one. Back they come, pushing it all the way downstairs. And familiar results, beating Singapore down the floor, or Delvin Go down the floor, is Lepichev.
And Lipichev coming back to that left hand to finish. Great athletic move to catch it, but not only have the awareness and touch to shoot that shot.
Alexander rises, can't get it to fall. Cade Davis with the rebound. He'll wait for numbers. Back in the hands of Bell. Bell drawing a crowd. Catch and shoot for Lipichev off the mark. Alexander, you check that. Elliot corralling that. Elliot with the screen being provided by McLean. Now he rolls downstairs, back outside. Lim over the top to Alexander, stretches out and gets it. Cutting through is Lim, and a foul reaching in. That will go on number 27, Ting Chen Hong.
And again, noticing that matchup, noticing the mismatch, getting Alexander in the post and drawing a foul is pretty important there. Here comes Delvin Go back into the game after Lipichev gets the run out layup.
Yeah, so checking out will be Lund. Delvin Go checking back in. Starting to get near Alexander territory. Switching off and going downstairs. They're playing the high-low. Again, taking advantage of Davis and one. So, Scotty, I mean, that's a matchup that Alexander has gone to all night. Whenever he posts up against Davis on that low block, he takes advantage of it, takes it straight up to the hoop, and gets rewarded.
Yeah, and Xavier Alexander too big and too strong down there. With Will Artino on the bench, no rim protection for Lipichev because he can't leave McLean on the weak side. And Xavier Alexander goes straight to that rim, creates the contact, a beautiful double clutch finish. And Xavier's back at the line for the opportunity for his 14th point of the game.
Last game for KL, Davis fouled out. So, three-point game, just as it was at the end of the halftime. There's your screen. Going underneath it is Elliot. Follows that up with another one. Back outside Bell. Lipichev lurking at the high post. Oh boy, almost losing it underneath. What a job by number 44, Chin Chang.
Chin Chang with the awareness to get by the big, keep his dribble alive, and finish on the opposite side of the rim. Tremendous move.
Alexander, about 3 seconds in between game clock and shot clock. Singapore stacking it up down low. Alexander through Davis. Great poise in the air. McLean gets it back over to Alexander. 3 seconds on the clock. Bumping, grinding, foul. He'll go the line for two. That'll stop at .6. Great job by McLean to find Alexander in the crowd.
Yeah, and this is Xavier Alexander time. Every single time he gets the basketball, he's putting his head down and getting straight to that rim with Artino on the bench. No rim protection, using his physicality and his size at 6'5", 220 to draw that contract, and he's back at the line for his 6th and 7th foul shot of the game. Yeah,
this is definitely his territory, and again, Artino on the bench. You hope that Singapore can take advantage of this. They haven't to the full ability that they could have maybe. It's the first one, so possibility of going into the third quarter exactly the way they were at the end of the half, down by 3. Again, these teams will play one more time in about a week in KL.
And Xavier shooting about 70% now at the line this year, which is tremendous.
Oh, let's hope that's not a foul. Let's see. Oh my goodness.
And I believe they might reward him with 3 foul shots here unless they go to the replay and have a look at it.
No, I don't think they will. The referee calling that from her position way across the other side of the court. Let's see, she's going to the scores table, and they're going to take a look at it, I guess. But none of the other referees who were nearer to the vicinity blew their whistle at all, Scotty. And here she was, you know, a little bit further away.
Yeah, so they're going for clarification right now. They're seeing if they have the opportunity to video replay this. And I believe that they're going to have a look at it very quickly.
So I thought it was a clean block with the hands, but the body, the follow through. So hang on, there could be another foul. And that's what they're looking at right now.
Hopefully we can get a look at this back home as well to have an opportunity to see if there was a foul there on Mr. Calvin Lim.
Yeah. Again, we do not have a replay on this, so we don't want to go out on a limb and say something that might or might not have happened. So we'll wait for verification from the table. But from our vantage point, it, just looked like time had run out. Arms outstretched by, was it Alexander, I guess, on the play. So we'll see as they roll it back on the tape.
Yeah, and 0.6 seconds left when they inbounded that basketball. So it's the timing and the nature of the call is difficult, but in FIBA rules, it's very literal.
Yeah.
The rules are tremendously literal, and the referees, it's not very similar to the NBA style where there's timing in place and star level calls and that kind of stuff. It's by the book, by the rules, and so that's his very, very critical call here with no time left here in the third quarter.
So in that quarter, at least 16 fouls on KL, only 2 on Singapore.
Yeah, and Xavier Alexander really came to play here in that third quarter. Put Singapore Slingers on his back. 11 points there. Tremendously efficient getting himself to the foul line, especially when Will Artino went out of the game. And like you said, it's Xavier Alexander time, and he really comes to play and loves that pressure and loves that responsibility. And 99.9 times out of 100, this guy steps up to it.
The only quarter he likes better than the third quarter is the fourth quarter, so expect more of that coming up. So let's see what we've got here. There seems to be agreement nodding to each other. The other third official standing his distance. So here it comes, and we'll get the call in just a second. So no foul.
Yeah, and I think that's the right call. That's the right call.
Time had expired according to the video replay. KL coach is coming over to get confirmation on that. They won't like the call, but it is what it is, as they say.
And that's a really good job by the officials to sit down and talk about it, to make sure they get the right call, and that communication part of them to go over there and have a look at it and talk about it and make sure that they're all in agreement is very, very well done.
Well, that's what you want. I mean, she obviously saw something, even though she didn't have the best seat in the house to call that. But when in doubt, go to the camera, and the referees have to be commended for doing just that. So 58-55, Scotty, and. Both these teams, as we said before, number 7 and 9 in the league in scoring. So we would expect, especially with their defensive prowess being number 1 and number 2 in the league, we would expect something like this. So that sets it up for a very exciting fourth quarter. We really don't have anybody in that bad of foul trouble. Marcus Elliott with 3 fouls, but that's pretty much it. Yes. On the other side, Ting with 3 fouls as well. But besides that, everything, seems pretty copacetic going into the fourth quarter foul-wise.
Yeah, and you mentioned Marcus Elliott did a really good job of staying out of foul trouble that third quarter, showing his hands to the officials, made it very apparent that he didn't want to pick up that fourth, and was able to play quality defense for the majority of the half without picking up that foul, and now he's on 17 points and has a nice little rhythm here going into the fourth.
So some other matchups we won. If you look at the scoring quarter by quarter, Singapore slight edge in the first quarter, 6-point bulge for KL in the second quarter, and playing to a standstill in that third quarter. That gives us exactly what we've got right now, that 3-point game in Singapore. We'll have to watch their matchups in the fourth quarter. That will be paramount, putting the guys on the floor that can match up against your opposition. Singapore has been rotating different smaller guys into the line. Leon Kwek, so Singapore will go starting the fourth quarter with the same lineup that they started the game with. Here we go, 10 minutes to go. Hope you're enjoying it like we are right here at the OCBC Arena. Chuck Schreiner and Scotty McKinnon, wherever you are around the world. Alexander back outside. Delvin Go thought about it. Kwek inside to, and the push against Artino. Nice quick entry pass.
Great high-low action, and Anthony McLean sealed Artino right underneath the rim. Artino had no choice but to grab McLean, or it would have been a nice little left-handed jump hooker dunk for him.
So first team foul of the quarter. Couple of fouls now on Artino. Kwek lines it up, fires away, can't get it to fall. Oh, what a job by Anthony McLean. Oh, could have been a goaltending there. Jump step there by Alexander. 3 for Leon Kwek, and Leon Kwek coming to play the fourth quarter.
You love it. No hesitation. Leon Kwek's a shooter, catches, steps right into it. A fantastic shot by Leon Kwek to show that confidence in himself after missing the first one.
So tied up. Artino double teamed. Opposite side, show and go move. Inside. Nice job to find Semyon Lepichev.
He's been very good for them. Now 7 of 10 for 16 points in the game.
Throwaway right there for Singapore, trying to find Kwek, who's tried to sneak behind the defense. Lepichev wide awake on that, though. Cade Davis underneath it goes to Lepichev, can't get it to fall. Nice job by McLean to change the shot. Back comes Alexander, left hand, knifing through the lane. Kick back outside, Kwek, Alexander left side. Well, they're just begging him to shoot the ball, trying to find a space, can't find it. Very difficult angle. Here comes Bell, lead pass, trying to hit in stride, and they do. They hit Artino.
A nice transition from the KL Dragons there. A push ahead to Cade Davis, and then Cade Davis selling the three-pointer and throwing it inside to Will Artino with the soft touch with that left hand.
Wide open look for three is off the mark. Stepping in the lane to pick it off is Chin Cheng. Opportunity now for KL. They lead by 4. Singapore a little 3-0 run to start it. Bell now. Kwek on him. Up pops Lepichev. Lepichev back outside. Good ball movement. Singapore, good pursuit. Wide open look. Cade Davis from Threesville. From way downtown. Offensive board by Chin. Reset. Davis. Now Bell taking the screen. Pops it inside. Artino on the reverse, can't get it to fall. Gets it on rebound. Check that. That's Lepichev. Pawed away. McLean comes up with it. And on the break comes Marcus Elliott. Cade Davis on him now. Still, and a foul. So Singapore looking good, forcing the action. That will put Marcus Elliott to the line for a pair.
Love that aggressiveness from Marcus Elliott, putting his head down, rejecting the ball screen, getting back to that left hand and drawing contact to get to the foul line. He's a nice little game. 7-11 from the field, 1-1 from 3, 17 points, 2 trips to the line, 100% there. Great aggressiveness, and Marcus Elliott's ability to get downhill and get to that rim has really impressed me this year for the Singapore Slingers.
Well, what we like to see with him is the shooting percentage. I mean, a couple rough games he had. Beginner, I remember 4 for 17. A couple, games ago, 5 for 21. Not today. He is right on mark with his shots, as he is with his free throws right there. Singapore keeps it within 3. 7:31 to go here in the 4th quarter. These teams met last week in KL, 88-87 game, 2 of 2, so 2-point game now.
And again, defensively, Singapore has fallen into that 2-3 zone, and you see Coach Jamie Perlman bringing another shooter out here in number 20, Lo Shi Fai.
Yeah, he's a sharpshooter, very streaky as the 3 or 4 of these shooters. Bell on the turnaround, reverse, yes, nice job by Artino.
For someone to be 6'11", at his height and his length, to be able to go up and underneath the rim like that, it just shows how agile and versatile he is.
Alexander, screened by McLean, rubbing off with that. Kelvin Lin now. Looking downstairs, Singapore playing a small lineup. Delvin Go out of the game, lost it. Back in the hands of Bell. Good job, good awareness by Ting. Ting lining it up, a long 3 is going to be off the mark. Wide open look that time, couldn't knock it down. Alexander going downhill this time, controlling himself there. McLean with it right back in his hands, has it knocked away, no foul. Bell comes out of the scrum with it, still Bell, right hand, gets tripped up, no foul. Lining up is that guy we were talking about, bringing it home is Lo Shi Fai.
There's the substitution right there. How do you combat a zone? You bring in a shooter. Lo Shi Fai steps directly into that 3-point shot and drains it for his 5th point of the game.
Yeah, just Singapore just not able to get organized fully the way back down the court. So now that 7-point lead now with what we got, 6:29 to go. Singapore going to have to talk it over. Concerns on the look of the Singapore bench right now. Is KL, Scotty, starting to, there was a while where both these teams started taking the ball to the rack every single time. Now, KL, slight advantage on the perimeter shooting.
Yeah, and Lo Shi Fai stepping into that 3, and you have Ting as well as a shooter. You have Cade Davis, you have a 7-footer, and Will Artino can step away from the rim, and that's a very tough matchups for Singapore. And it's tough for also Anthony McLean on the other end. For someone as big and as strong as he is, the amount of contact, he's a little bit like Shaquille O'Neal, the amount of contact that is let go on him because of that assumption of how big and strong he is. It's really tough for him, and you can see that Coach Neal was really getting into the refs right now. He still is talking to the refs about fouls and inside on McLean, and you think he has a point. There's a lot of contact on the big man inside there.
You know, certainly is. He's surrounded every time he touches the ball, and we have not seen him at the line hardly at all tonight, which is he's throwing his arms up and like, well, you know, what do I do? Okay, so Lim back into the game. Here comes Alexander. Singapore needing a score here. Quick. Elliot motoring down that right side. Gives it back to Lim again. Lim trying to challenge. Gets the ball knocked away. Going ahead is Cade Davis. Cade Davis smooth sailing for 2. 9-point lead now by KL.
Great composure. Cade Davis to have 2 people chasing him down to take his time and go back that nice soft right-hand finish.
Needing a bucket now for sure. Alexander in the trees, knocked away. Great job of sealing by Artino. Check that. Yeah, with Artino losing it in the air is Cade Davis. No foul will be Singapore. Cade Davis admonishing the referee, saying that he was fouled. Singapore doing a great job of getting back. 5:55 to go here in the 4th quarter. It's been all KL in this quarter. Lim, hoping he's got the hot hand again. Elliot being chased by Bell. Nice job by Bell, not to relent. Coming out to get it is McLean, losing it again. Another turnover. KL coming up with it.
And the KL defense has just been tremendous here in the 4th quarter. Not giving up an inch, walling up every single time and creating those turnovers.
There's Lowe, who hit that big 3 a little while ago. Davis outside.
Here comes the flare screen on Davis.
Artino romping to the basket, gets it to fall. 11-point lead now.
Nice little slip from Will Artino to the rim there and finish with his right hand, non-dominant hand.
Wide open look, Weck from that left side. Woefully off the mark. And the air slowly going out of the balloon here crowd-wise. See if Singapore can get a stop here. Bell again. Quick stepping around the screen. Bell backing up. A little bit of separation. Fires away. 13-point lead now for the Dragons.
Yeah, and that's about the 5th or 6th time that he's got going down to the right hand and then pulled back to that step back jump shot for 15 feet, and he is ice from there tonight.
Alexander. 3 players on him. Late whistle. That'll send Alexander to the line. It'll stop the clock at 4:22. Singapore desperate for buckets here. And Alexander will try and earn it from the line. What defense down at the other end by KL. Getting back very, very quickly. Rotating on defense. Everybody, you know, taking their responsibility. Sealing off. Double teaming wherever the ball is. Getting back in a position on the swing pass. Just doing everything right here in the 4th quarter, Scotty.
Yeah, and they've just done such a good job of plugging any lane to the rim. Anytime someone puts the ball down, there's some kind of help there where guys have walled up, and it's been so difficult for Singapore to score here in the 4th quarter.
It's the first of 2. Reigning import MVP, averaging just over 20 points a game. Singapore definitely doesn't want to lose 2 games in a row.
Xavier now with 18 points today, and most of those have been from the foul line. 9 and 9 from the foul line tonight.
Yeah.
It's done a really good job to get there.
Artino way out top. McLean follows him halfway. Good rotation. Lepichev, what a game he's had today. Bell again. Lepichev rolling down. Delvin go on him. Artino, McLean. Artino fires it over the top. Oh boy, last touch by Alexander. They're going to say Cade Davis, hustle move by him. So 14 reset on the shot clock.
Yeah, great pursuit by Cade Davis, who only averages 4.8 rebounds per game, but for him to get in the key there and be able to create that second possession here with 14 seconds left, like you said, for Westport, it just adds to another chance for them to extend this 11-point lead.
Bell will inbound it from the baseline. Well, the job that the subs have done, or the rotation of locals have done coming into the game. Pauled away. Lucky job, or lucky he was there, Alexander. Talking about the job that Ting Chin Hong has done. Talking about Lo Shei-Fei. Talking about Chin Cheng. All 3 of those guys have contributed mightily, especially in the second half for this resurgence by KL. Bell. Time on their side at the moment. Forces his way through. Get it out of here, says McLean. Ooh, not too far off the mark. 24-second violation, however. Singapore will get the ball back with 3:43 and desperately needing some offense.
Yeah, great shot blocked by Anthony McLean. His third of the game. Forced him in the up fake. They sat on that pull-up at that time for Amir Bell. Amir Bell had to step through, and Anthony McLean sent it out to the three-point line.
Elliot. Delve and go. Larry Liu back into the action now. Swung over to the left, Elliot again. Downstairs it goes to McLean. Artino tight on him. Back outside. 10 on the shot clock. Delve and go. Open for a second. Rises, fires, glass, no good. Rebound, Lepechev. Back come KL. So using up all that time, Scotty, almost 20 seconds and coming away with nothing.
And again, it's the defense of the KL Dragons. Every single time they try and get downhill to the rim, there's a chest in front of them.
Bell still, again, taking their time. 9 on the shot clock. Bell stops, gives it up. Artino bumping. Rising high to get it is McLean. Back comes Alexander, still Alexander. Back outside, Larry Liu thought about it. Attempt there. Blocked by Artino. Davis will wait for numbers. 2:40 to go and counting. Nursing that 11-point lead, Bell. With views, they spread it out. King Chan, left side, long three is going to be off the mark. Ooh. Having to dance around the baseline was Delve and go. Elliot has some time to fire up the three, no good. 1 and out again. Singapore can't buy a bucket. Davis again with the rebound. Screen on Liu. Bell pops through. Lepechev, right side, gives it off to Davis. Out pops Alexander on him. Artino there for the screen. Changes hands, stops, pops for 2, good. Back up to a 13-point lead.
Kate Davis coming off of that ball screen, drawing the big out with the reverse dribble. He knows McLean doesn't want to step out super far. And nice little hesitation into that jump shot. Man, the KL Dragons have looked very solid this last fourth quarter here.
Yeah, the defense has just been outstanding, and it has really taken the Singapore fans out of the game. You look on the scoreboard, only 62 points for Singapore. Remember, they only trailed by 3 at the end of the half and only 3 at the end of the third quarter. So look at this turnaround. It's been a 10-point turnaround so far here in the fourth quarter, and Singapore just not able to get off at all, Scotty. They've been held to 4 points, in fact, in this fourth quarter. Yeah,
and it's just that inability to get to the rim, and KL walling up every single time they plug the zone. They plug their help position, and it's very difficult, especially right now, without kind of that shooter production that Singapore usually has from the Leon Kwek position, from their guard position that generally steps up and shoots that basketball. And so,
you've got to loosen things up. You've got to give the KL defense a reason to come out and meet the shooters, which obviously will create some space. But right now, there's just no reason for KL to do that at all. The Singapore just is not converted on the perimeter. So still 2 minutes to go, still a lot of time, but Singapore is going to have to get it done on the offensive end. They're going to have to get the stops at the other end. So there's Marcus Elliott right there.
Yeah, and Singapore is going to go small here to try and expand that floor. And I like this, bringing in Leon Kwek, and hopefully he's going to look to shoot and attack, catch and shoot right off the bat here.
Alexander, under 2 minutes, circling up on top is Elliott. He gets the ball. Kwek camped out on that left side, throws the screen. They spread it out one more time. Elliott, backup jumper there, off the mark again. Another 1 and out. Lepechev there with the board. Bell chasing at him is Kwek. Trap forming. They get it off to Davis on that left side. Alexander on him. Now KL spreads it out. Oh boy. Alexander gets it. Would have been a backcourt. Underneath, nice job. Good recognition there by Kwek to get the ball to Elliott.
Yeah, what a pass by Leon Kwek. Nice little English and spin to get to Elliott for the wide open layup in his 21st point.
So the lead now 11. Artino being hassled by Delve and go. Still Artino, the touch foul they'll call on Delve and go with 1:10 to go.
A little bit of pressure here from the Singapore Slingers. Getting up, looking to double, a little bit of run and jump defense, and it's good. They want us to pick up this game. They want to speed up this game. They want more possessions, and that's the only way they're going to be able to get back in the next 1 and 10 minutes here.
Yeah, they're going to have to get a couple of turnovers. There's just not enough time on the clock. Let's see if this provides any dividends. Bell, what a masterful job he's done running the offense today. Turning Larry Liu inside out. Separation, long two is no good. Stepping in to get the ball, however, is Ting. Back outside to Bell, under a minute to go, and there's a foul by Liu.
And Chuck, I think you described Amir Bell there perfectly. Masterful. And for a 23-year-old, he looks like a guy who's been a 7, 8, 9-year professional vet here. Never rattled, always composed, always plays at his pace, and it's been tremendously impressive to see him execute as a point guard here as only a 23-year-old.
Yeah, so timeout now. Singapore is going to have to talk it over. No doubt about they're going to need some stops, and probably a little bit more than that. And they don't have a lot of time to do it. In fact, only 52.4 seconds to go on the clock. And Singapore wondering where they're going to get their offense from. Remember, they are number 9 in the league in offense, still averaging about 78 points a game. But, you know, Scotty, both these teams number 1 and 2 in the league in defense. You could have predicted this. Obviously, KL they're not masters at filling up the basket either. They're number 7 in scoring, but you know, just doing so well on the defensive end, the KL Dragons throughout this game. And you have to be really pleased if you're a KL fan on the way they rotate over, and everybody taking responsibility and doing what they've got to do at the moment. And they've just been letter perfect here. Again, remember, Singapore had 58 points, Scotty, at the end of the third quarter. They've got 64 now, and that's just not going to win you many games.
Yeah, it's just been so tough. Every single offensive possession in the fourth quarter has been really tough for the Singapore Slingers, only scoring 6 points here in the fourth quarter, and that's kind of been their undoing. Defensively, they've done what they've done. Under any points is again, top 3 in the league defensively. It's just that offensive production here in the fourth has kind of let them down.
Well, that's a mirror image of what happened, remember, with Singapore when they were playing KL on Valentine's Day. I think there was one quarter where they were held to 4 points. So we've seen this movie before. So on the inbound, Artino, Lepichev around the screen. Check, that's Cade Davis, actually. Cade Davis inside, fighting for his own rebound. Artino gets it, the block there by
Delvin Go.
Yeah,
what a
Go.
block by Delvin Go. And it's really impressive to see his athleticism. I believe that he is very undervalued as an athlete. His explosiveness there to get the ball at the top of their apex, especially since Artino's 6'11", right? So he must be up around almost 10 feet there to get that block. So just a tremendous timing and explosiveness from Delvin Go.
So last 38 seconds. Screen thrown there by Delvin. Bounce pass inside. He rolls off of that, gets the separation inside. Bell, the only man to beat, and he does it. So 9-point game. Foul there on Kwek. That'll stop the clock at 28.2. So Singapore never say die as usual. We would expect nothing less. Perlman, you wouldn't know that it was a 9-point game looking at him.
No, and he knows he's a tremendous basketball coach, and he knows the never say die attitude of the Singapore Slingers. They will always compete to the last second of every single game.
If they're doing right now. So Davis to inbound it. Alexander now switching off on Bell. Ooh, look at the pushing and shoving. Oh my goodness. Artino throwing Delvin Go or Larry Liu to the ground. Bell over the top. Guess they're going to call Liu for the hold on Artino. They saw the matchup. Liu, not much else he could have done under the circumstances. That brings the time down to 15.1.
Yeah, that's going to be Larry Liu's 5th foul of the game, and nice minutes from him here coming off the bench tonight. Aggressive, looking to catch and shoot.
Hit a shot also.
Yep.
So checking into the game will be Lim. He was the hero of the first quarter, at least for Singapore. Long outlet pass, stolen by Kwek. Down court it goes. Alexander with the flood. 75-68. So 7-point game now, and you know, this is exactly what we expect from the Singapore Slingers. Talk about, well, you're down by 13 under a minute to go. Well, never count the Slingers out. 7 7-point lead now, and if they will be in a situation where they're going to have to foul immediately, hope against hope that a couple of misses and they're right back down your throat again. So this is Singapore Slinger basketball to the bitter end, and that's what we're getting a witness of right now.
Yeah, and it's just the Singapore Slingers never give up. They compete to the final whistle, and from a perspective, longevity perspective going through here in the season, that's a tremendous thing and a tremendous habit and characteristic for this team is they are willing to compete for 40 minutes every single night.
Yeah. And, you know, playoffs not into the too distant future. This is a habit that will suit them very well when they do get into the playoffs, and I'm predicting that they will. If they were to lose tonight, they would fall to 7 and 9, but they do have some spacing between them and the 8th, 9th, and 10th place teams, and KL would rise to 9 and 7. That would put them firmly in 4th place territory. You talked about that, envious of getting one of those top 4 positions. Well, KL will be in a position to do just that.
Yeah, nice little timeout from Jamie Perlman to advance the ball to half here. He doesn't want to allow Singapore to be any closer to the rim with a full court press and any chance of a turnover down there.
So last 11 seconds to go, 11.1 to be precise. Bell, there's your quick foul by Lim. So that will put him at the line. Singapore will contest every single play.
Yeah, and what a game Amir Bell has had from the point guard position. 16 points, but so efficient with those 16 points. 7 of 10 now from the field, and his ability to get his defender going downhill 100 miles per hour and then step back on that nice little misdirection dribble, whether it's between the legs or behind the back, is he hit 4 or 5 of those today, and it's really special to be able to decelerate like that, going his top speed as well.
Yeah, and controlling the pace of the game is what he does best. And you know, you get you back on your heels and you think you've caught up with him, and he just does that little skid stop, and then you've got the separation, and then it's just a matter of, well, is he going to make the shot or not? And more than likely tonight, he has made it. So that has been a huge difference for the KL Dragons. They haven't really needed Will Artino to fill him up like we saw him do on Valentine's Day. They haven't really needed some of the other guys, you know, like number 34, Cade Davis, to score 20, 30 points because they've got such great production from Simon Lepechev. We talked about Benjamin, or check that, Amir Bell. How about the guys that they put in, and every time that they've needed a clutch shot, they've given it to them. I'm talking about Chin Chin. I'm talking about Tin Chung Hong. You know, how about Lo Shei-Fei hitting that huge jumper right when it mattered, when it looked like Singapore was within 1, and he hits the big 3, and all of a sudden now you've got a 4-point separation, and really KL's never looked back from that point in that part of the game in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, and you said it, Chuck, that sub from Shifei Lo to step in and take out Simeon Lepechev, and for him to hit that 3, KL was struggling with the 2-3 zone of Singapore again a little bit, and he broke it up really quickly, stepping into that 3-pointer. And like you said, that local production off the bench has been so quality for the Kuala Lumpur Dragons tonight.
Well, that's the danger of playing that 2-3 zone. If your outside shooters can start to find their range, and that's exactly what happened tonight. Delvin to inbound it. Alexander, wide open look. Queck off the mark. Up in the air again is Queck. Can't get it to fall. The follow, and that will do it. So the KL Dragons come in the OCBC arena and they take care of business, and how, to the tune of 77-68. Singapore going down to their 2nd straight defeat. That's on the heels of that tough loss to First Plus Mono Vampire. But any given night, as we've said, any of these teams, including Singapore, can win any game. So don't feel too bad if you're a Singapore Slingers fan. Things can change, and change in a hurry. But as of tonight, Singapore falling to 7 and 9. KL Dragons at 9 and 7, Scotty. And I think, you know, ad nauseum, we've talked about the cast of characters that the KL Dragons have. Every one of them tonight stepping up when they needed to.
Yeah, and I think this record does not reflect how good this basketball team is. The KL Dragons are only 9 and 7 right now. I believe this is one of the top 2 teams right now in the ABL. I think they can compete with Mono Vampire. They've shown that they beat the Fubon Braves. This is a very quality basketball team, and like you said, it's that depth at every position where they can play big, they can play small, and that versatility to have people come off the bench and change the game, the dynamic of the game is very difficult to deal with.
Yeah, and we talked about the different players that contributed for the KL Dragons on the other side of the ball. Singapore not able to find offense where they needed to, at least on a consistent basis. They had just, you know, fits and starts where they had, like Kelvin Lim hit 6 points. You know, Delvin Go was effective for a little while. Marcus Elliott hit some big shots. Of course, Xavier Alexander came out and does what he does in the third quarter, but the fourth quarter, a little bit of disaster for Singapore as they were held to 10 points, Scotty.
Yeah, and to finish the game with 68 points, that's really tough to win a basketball game, especially when you're averaging 81.5 a game, right? That's just a very tough. Their defense was tremendous. They kept the KL Dragons to only 77 points. Just unfortunate in that fourth quarter there, the offense couldn't get rolling. They couldn't get a rhythm going.
Yeah. The defense for Singapore comes as advertised. They're the top 1, 2, 3 defenses in the league, game in, game out. But you know, on the offensive end, this is where they sputtered a lot this season, and you know, we've seen that from time to time. Let's look at some highlights of the game. Amir Bell, we talked about the separation he's able to get by just stopping whenever he wants to, the little jump step. Elliot over the top, nice little feed there to McLean, who finished up. And that was a little bit earlier on in the first half. Cade Davis really threading the needle downstairs and getting behind the defense with Ting Ching Hong. Great recognition there. Back outside, and well, wasn't all one-way traffic. Kelvin Lim, big shot for Singapore. Alexander on the rumble. Down the left-hand side, Delvin Go getting into the action too. Little fallback jumper, getting the foul. Also, he would go to the line and convert there to make it a three-point play. Underneath, nice job by Kelvin Lim. Not everything from the perimeter to him. He's really blossoming into a two-way basketball player, by the way, on the offensive defensive end. Little isolation move that time. Lepichev getting the best of Delvin Go with that left hand, bearing that elbow, that shoulder into Delvin Go. Backup jumper, having his moments also. Number 7, Marcus Elliott, the 2017 MVP. Off the dribble, mixing it up, taking the contact, rising. That's what Xavier Alexander does best. And here we go. Nice job getting around McLean. And that will finish it there.
Yeah, we see Anthony McLean walking by here, being carried off by his two teammates. And this is a scary proposition for the Singapore Slingers going forward. Well, looks like that foot has come back again, like we talked about before, Chuck. And yeah, if he's hurt, this is a really tough thing for the Singapore Slingers. He's battled, what a warrior. He's battled these last 4 or 5 games with a bad foot, with a wonky foot, and you can never doubt his competitiveness or his toughness.
I mean, as you say that right on cue, you could see the monitor there where he was limping by. He just has not been able to go full speed, and you know, to his credit, he's still number 4 or 5 in the league in rebounds. He's averaging 11, 12 points also. So here's your final stats coming at you right now. Rebounding, dead even 40-40. The assist also even 25-66, 33-71. Not that far out of the realm, but Singapore sort of slumping in that second half, especially that fourth quarter. 3 points, 3 of 8, 5 of 19. Not the percentage, but the time that Kuala Lumpur started hitting those threes, the block shots, 4 and 5 steals. 8 and 4 right there, and a lot of those came in the fourth quarter as well. 13 turnovers for Singapore, only 10 for Kuala Lumpur. Second chance, 0.72. Bench 8-7. Points from turnovers, 13-8. That was a little bit significant, 13-8 there. So slight edge in the stat sheets, at least to the KL Dragons, and they took advantage of a bad fourth quarter. That's no other way to put it for Singapore, only scoring 10 points in that monumental fourth quarter. And that's the reason why they slipped beneath the waves a little bit and were outclassed 77-68.
5 seconds outside. Eglu! Lee Shui Lin. Season opening. Oh! Lee Shui Lin! Money on the 3.
So turns, fires. Delvin Go right there. Another block by Delvin.
Wide open is Regulish. Back-to-back triples for Mono Vampire.
Only 7 remaining. He makes his move. Young forces it up and in! CC
Hasn't made a shot before that.
Pretty good so far here in the first half.
Lai. Oh, everyone for the Black Bears finding the bottom of the net.
Leaky with a big steal. Leaky for three. That goes in. What a play.
This broadcast of the ASEAN Basketball League may not be reused in any way, shape, or form without an express written consent of the ABL.